Hello everyone and welcome to Storytime. Here at Storytime, we read stories for parents and children, and at the end, we share valuable life lessons learned from the story. In today's story, we learn why Aesop's fables are really for the adults. Welcome back to Storytime with Miss Dymond. I am Miss Dymond and I am really excited to bring you today's episode. In this episode, we're reading the story of The Farmer's Hare, which teaches us that we can't please everyone. So in the spirit of story time, I'm going to kind of keep the format, but we're going to veer off a little bit because this is for, people like us. So here we go. This story, The Farmer and His Hare, is all about people pleasing. Why is it that so many of us have an issue with people pleasing? And in this episode, we're going to learn about people pleasing, what causes it, and what you may be able to do about it. So let's go ahead and read this story. I was really triggered, by the way, personally, when I read this story, which is probably why it caused such a reaction in me. So, The Farmer's Hare. Long, long ago, there lived a farmer, his wife, and his daughter. He was very nice to them, and he always tried to please them. One day, his daughter looked at the farmer's head and said, "Dad, you have grown a lot of gray hairs. Let me pluck them out for you so that you can look younger." And the farmer agreed. She gladly plucked the gray hairs out of her father's head. He now looked much younger than before. Soon, when his wife saw her husband, she thought, "My husband, he looks younger than me. He looks better than me. Maybe I should pluck out a few of his thick black hairs that will highlight the gray ones. This way, he will look old enough to be my husband." In other words, she wants him to look older than him. She asked her husband if she could pluck out a few of his black hairs so that the two of them could look good together. The farmer said, "Go ahead, whatever makes you happy." She plucked out a few black hairs and left the gray ones all intact. A few days later, the man had more gray hairs than black hairs because the gray ones had begun to grow back. And the daughter again plucked out all the gray hairs, but then again the wife came back and plucked out all of the young, healthy black hairs. This continued for a while. He wanted to please both and never said no to either of their requests. One day he woke up and saw that he had turned bald. He sighed, "Oh no, I have lost all my hair. I wish I had firmly said no to their demands, but it's too late now." And that's the end of the story. Okay? So Aesop left us there. Let's see if Miss Dymond can pick it up and see what we're talking about. Alright, so let's look at what happened in this story. The daughter came to her father and said, "Dad, you're getting a few gray hairs. Let me pluck them out and you'll look younger." The way I see it, her motivation is genuine. It's to help her dad. It's not to help herself. It's to help her dad. Help her dad look a little younger by plucking out the gray hairs. Okay? A lot of us can relate to that. Take a little of this off, look a little better, put on a little makeup, whatever the case. It improves the way you feel you look about yourself. Well, the farmer didn't seem to care one way or the other. As a matter of fact, he didn't respond about how it might make him feel. He didn't respond saying something like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I want to look younger," or even, "I like the way I look." The farmer responded and said, "Whatever makes you happy." So she's requesting to do something on his head, supposedly, more than likely for him, and his response is, "Whatever makes you happy." So clearly, we see he's people-pleasing. He's giving away his power to say no. And then the wife comes along. Now, what's her motivation? Her motivation is not that he keep looking good and looking young and maybe improve upon what the daughter is doing. Her motivation is actually all about her own self-protection. She doesn't want to look older than him. She's stuck in, some sort of ideal as to how he's going to now reflect badly on her. So she wants to do something to make him look older, less attractive, perhaps, in their society. And again, he says to her, I'm trying to find it exactly in the story, go ahead, whatever makes you happy. So he's not standing up for himself. He certainly hasn't learned good, healthy boundaries. He's not looking at what's going to be best for him. He's looking at pleasing his wife and his daughter. Perhaps to his own detriment, perhaps to his own degradation. It doesn't matter. As long as you're happy, do what you want with me. So how is it that we as adults get to this place of people pleasing? Now, Aesop's fables, I really love them because they're extremely simplified. But we can easily extract this situation to other parts of our lives. Like at work, how we want to please our coworkers. We want to please a boss. We want to volunteer for that project even though we know we don't have time to do it. We want to help train this person. Whatever the case may be, whenever you're asked to do something and you don't consider your own needs, but you want to give that yes because you want to please, you want to make someone else happy, without first really considering, was this going to make me happy? Does this gel with what I want for myself? And especially in relationships, we're not even going there, but you can extrapolate in relationships how we often do things, or have loose boundaries, or say we're not going to do it, but when they say please or whatever those magic words are that get straight to your heart, we put those boundaries aside because we want to make them happy. We want to see them happy, basically. We want to see them pleased. Even if we don't necessarily like it, we'll put up with it and we'll just say, well, it makes them happy, it's okay. But is it really? How do we get to that place of lying to ourselves or deceiving ourselves or simply just putting ourselves last and putting someone else before ourselves? How do we get to that place? So, I looked up people pleasing, and they call people like the farmer pleasers. Pleasers develop the behavior pattern of constantly trying to please others in order to avoid the displeasure of others and to get the important people in their lives to, guess what? To love them. Or you could say to like them or to approve of them, depending on the situation. And a love relationship is probably you want to get someone to love you. At work, you might want to get someone to approve of you. Take the word that best fits. And we do this because at our core, we are interdependent. We need one another. God knows we need one another. No one is an island. So sometimes we will do something because we feel in return you will like me. You will love me. You will approve of me. So that's the deeper thing that's going on with this farmer and for many of us when we exhibit this people-pleasing behavior. When do you know that you're a people pleaser? We know we are a people pleaser. We know we are a pleaser, as the definition states, when somewhere down the road we look and say, why did I agree to this? I have this to do. I have this appointment. I have to get up early the next day. Why did I agree to spend 5 hours my day with so-and-so? I know I don't really have the time. Why did I commit to that? You're people pleasing. Why did I agree on my job to this project? Why did I agree to be a part of this team? My workload is already up to here, and I'm already doing overtime. I'm already putting in 60, 65 hours a week. Why did I agree to this? Approval. Approval from your coworkers, perhaps. I told this partner of mine that we were breaking up. This is it. I'm not happy. But he or she comes with an offer and I'm back in again. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Because you're looking for love. That's what this definition is saying. So usually that's when we come to the point that we have some people-pleasing tendencies, when we find ourselves in these predicaments over and over again. Well, that may cause you to want to look even further back. Why does this develop? So I'm going to ask everybody, all of us, to put on our, big girl underpants or big boy underpants, because this can be a little painful, painful for myself even when looking back at certain circumstances in my life. But this, I think, at least for me, does get to the crux of the matter. What is the origin of a pleaser? And the answer here, according to this research, is a lack of parental attunement. That's a big part of what causes people pleasing. Many times, parents of people pleasers, when they're growing up, are so busy or so worried about whatever's going on in their world, in the parents' world, that they neglect the child. So the child grows up trying to do things to get the parents' love. And this behavior extends because they don't feel valued growing up. Later on, that same need extends to the workplace. Well, at least I can feel valued here. So let me extend myself. Let me work these extra hours. Let me do this extra thing. Let me volunteer for this, even though I know I really want to do it, because I have a need to feel valued. Because that need to feel valued was not supplied growing up in my childhood. In the relationship, you may go above and beyond. You may be putting in 80% and you know the other person's only putting in 20, but you're still chasing them because you want to feel loved. And there's an emptiness there. There's a hole there because you didn't get the amount of love that you needed growing up. So that cup is still empty inside or partially empty. So you're looking to fill it in other places. I know, deep, right? A lot came out of that Aesop's fable. So if you recognize that type of behavior, like the farmer who just is acquiescent to other people's demands, other people's asks, doesn't seem to care one way or the other, just kind of goes along. He's a pleaser. We can help the pleasers in our lives by helping them to first take care of their own needs. That's the self-care that is so often talked about today. Care for yourself. Care for your needs. Seek to fill your own cup in whatever area that may be, because when it's full inside, you won't look to it on the outside. It sounds simple, but oftentimes to get from a pleaser to someone who is fulfilled on the inside, there's a lot of work in between there. And that work just looks like continuously monitoring your relationships, all kinds of relationships, family, work, peers, and making sure that your yes is a genuine yes. You're saying yes because you really want to, not you're saying yes like an agreement. I'm saying yes to you now so that you can show me favor or love and attention later. That person may not have that favor or love or attention for you. That's something we have to fulfill within ourselves. And then we have the enablers, who in this story would be the wife, who is really taking advantage of her husband's mild mannerisms, his people-pleasing tendencies, and really just doing what she wants to him so that she can feel better about herself. And then when that happens a few times, then you really know there's an issue there. But I thank you so much for watching, and if you've stuck with me this long, will you please hit the subscribe button so you can see other Storytime videos. And I'm also kind of veering off a little bit and talking about parenting tips and about my life, about my journey. And I think you would find those videos interesting as well. So please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell so you will know when a new video is ready for your review. Love you so much. Thank you for being part of my community. Until next time, bye-bye.